I'm going to stop calling these people who are protesting for Palestine as Palestine protesters or pro-Palestine protesters, because the real reason they are doing this is because they are trying to prevent Israel from taking out the Hamas operatives buried deep inside the tunnels in Gaza. So I'm going to call them pro-Hamas protesters. It doesn't matter whether they want to use Palestine flags. The reason they are doing this is because they know that the headquarters underneath the Al-Shifa hospital is where the nerve center is, and once that goes, a lot of damage is going to happen to the Hamas operation itself. Maybe there will be a few people who might manage to escape the dragnet that Israel has spread out. But the point here is they have done some very, very sophisticated planning, and all that stuff will get destroyed and will probably take decades to put it back. And I'm not even sure what is the plan that Israel has once it finishes off with Hamas or whatever it deems as the point where it says, okay, we are done. We don't even know when that is going to happen. Now, I'm going to show you 3 videos today, guys. I'm going to play them back to back, so I will not be talking to you in the middle. What I want you to see is in the first video, see how nervous Blinken is. And this is directly going to one of the things that I told you yesterday, that Blinken was nervous while Joe Biden was speaking. And then there was another press conference where a reporter asked, is Xi Jinping a dictator? And Joe Biden said, yes, he is. Watch closely the body language of Blinken when he utters that remark. That is in the first video. The second video is the pro-Hamas protesters in Canada. They are holding up a very important intersection that leads to a bridge in Montreal. Now, I wonder if Mr. Trudeau is going to also, freeze their accounts and write up the crimes against all these protesters. I wonder if he's going to do that. That's exactly what he did to the truckers. That, of course, was in Ottawa. This is in Montreal. But the point I think I'm trying to make here is this thing is not a pro-Palestinian protest. Accept it, it is a pro-Hamas protest. It is being instigated by a few because they know that once Israel completely captures Al-Shifa, goes in and takes out all the stuff that is there, then it is game over as far as commanding Hamas from within there, and that's what is the problem. Okay. Now, the third interesting thing is that, after Joe Biden called Xi Jinping a dictator, today in the APEC, that is Asia Pacific Economic Conference, or it could be Executives Conference, I don't know, because a lot of CEOs are going to give their addresses. Elon Musk's name was taken out and John Kerry's name was inserted. Senator John Kerry, the person who's in charge for climate change, his name was inserted there. And one wonders why this last minute change. And many people are saying that it was done because they didn't want to upset Xi Jinping with President Biden having called him a dictator. Perhaps there were some feathers that were ruffled and he said, no, let's try to appease him with a person that he knows is a friend of China, John Kerry. So we have to, this stuff is still, evolving or developing information. So you will know in the next few hours why Elon Musk got cancelled and John Kerry spoke in his place. Lastly, I'm going to give you a video of Donald Trump promising that every student who's participating in these pro-Hamas demonstrations now, he's very clear. He's not saying pro-Palestinian. He says pro-Hamas demonstrations, all of those who are participating in these things, if they are foreign students, their visas will be revoked and they will be deported back to their home country. This is a very dire warning. And today, if you look at it, if the elections were to be held today, this is the thing that we always do, right? What happens if the elections were to be held today? If the elections were to be held today, it is expected that Trump would win by a very easy margin. Assuming that, of course, Trump is the Republican candidate and Joe Biden is the Democratic candidate. So what are the options? That is something that will be coming out in a few days. I think there is some change being mulled over by the Democrats, how soon they have to do it, because soon primaries will start for the Republicans. And do they do it while that is going on, or they do that before. I have no idea. This timing is a little tricky. We have to go back to, I think, the era of 1968, I think, when Johnson, when he decided to not contest after having done a partial term, filling up for John F. Kennedy and one full term. I think it was 1968, if I remember correctly. Any rate, so this is where things stand today. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.
And find the right way for the two major countries to get along with each other. I firmly believe in the promising future of the bilateral relationship. Mr. President, you and I, we are at the helm of China-US relations.
Mr. President, after today, would you still refer to President Xi as a dictator? This is a term that you used earlier this year.
Well, look, he is. I mean, he's a dictator in the sense that he is the guy who runs a country that is a communist country that is based on a form of government totally different than ours.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! What do we want it? Now! What do we want it? Now!
If you hate America, if you want to abolish Israel, if you sympathize with jihadists, then we don't want you in our country, and you're not going to be getting into our country. I will cancel the student visas, Hamas sympathizers on college campuses. The college campuses are being taken over. And all of the resident aliens who joined in the pro-jihadist protest this month, nobody's ever seen anything like it. Come 2025, we will find you and we will deport you.